was something that was on the table.
But not really. There was a point. There was a point in time where I was like, I shifted gears and I shifted my mind off of Errol Spence because I didn't feel like the fight was going to happen. But once I left Top Rank and we started negotiating, I was like, oh, well, maybe this fight will happen. And then once I fought Avanesian, because the conversations and everything that we was talking about to get the fight done, it wasn't lining up to what I wanted. So I decided to take another fight. And then I came back to the table and like, hey, listen, let's get this fight made. And at that point in time, things wasn't going how I would have liked it to go. So I just hit up Spence like, hey, man, listen, man. If me and you gonna fight, me and you gonna get this done because there's a lot of people that's blocking the fight. Really.
How are they blocking? Like, what was the hold?
Which is business wise, I just felt like I was worth X amount, and they felt like I wasn't, and they wanted to do the deal a certain way, and I wanted to do the deal the fair way, and Errol Spence seen it. He was agreeing with everything that I said. He was like, yeah, we can do this, we can do that. And he probably felt like he gave up too much, at the end when it was all said and done. But I felt like everything was fair.
Was it in terms of like the purse split?
Everything.
Everything.
We talked about everything.
Yeah. And so this fight had been discussed for like how many years now? At least 5 years. Wow. That's crazy that it takes that long for something like this to happen in boxing.
When I came to the welterweight division, I called out all the champions except Sean Porter. I called out all the champions. I wanted them all, at that time. And I wasn't able to get in the ring with any of them. And at that point in time, they was calling Errol Spence the boogeyman. And my reply was, how is he the boogeyman when I'm chasing him? I just wanted to prove to the world that I was better than what they say I was, because given the fact that how great I looked against each opponent, they say, oh, well, he wasn't nothing, or he was this, he was that, because how talented I am.
Right.
So they didn't want to give me no credit because I passed all my tests with flying colors. So it was great to get in the ring with Errol Spence Jr. and do the same thing, if not better than I did for the past opponents that I faced.
No, you were on fire. It's sort of the same thing that Roy Jones Jr. faced. Like, everybody's like, Roy hasn't beaten anybody. Like, yes, he has.
Yeah.
It's just he's so much better than everybody else that he was making everybody else look like they weren't any good.
Definitely.
But those were world championship caliber fighters, and Roy was just lighting them up.
Right.
And that sometimes when a fighter eclipses everyone else and reaches the pinnacle, that's the criticism they face until there's an undeniable moment. And that was your undeniable moment. Like, everybody's got to shut the fuck up now.
Yeah. and that's what my feelings was. A lot of people like, man, you didn't look too happy. After you won, I didn't see the excitement in you. I was like, man, I was happy. Just I had to prove myself, to the world how great I knew I was. But at the same time, I was kind of disappointed at the same time that it took this long for me to get my recognition, for me to get a big marquee fight of this status at 35 years old.
Yeah, especially after chasing it for 5 years.
Right, and I was chasing Manny Pacquiao for probably 5 years, probably before that.
Yeah.
So it's like I've been champion for 9 years, going on 10 years in March. So I've been doing this game for a long time, and I've been at the top since I beat Gamboa, and I've been looking for all the biggest challenges there is, and some of them I was able to capture, and some of them went the other way. And I'm just blessed to be able to be the first man to be undisputed in the junior welterweight division, the first man to be undisputed in the welterweight division in the four-belt era, the first man to be undisputed in two-weight divisions. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
It's a huge blessing. It's an amazing accomplishment. You looked happy. You were dancing with your mom. You were having a good time.
Yeah,
I don't know
of
why people thought you weren't happy.
Because you know, when you go in the back room, everybody want to see the excitement.
Right.
And I was just like, I got that off my back.
Yeah.
You know, it was a sign of relief.
Was there anything unusual about that fight? Like, is that exactly how you expected the exchanges to go? I'm sure you watched a ton of tape on him, right?
Actually, I didn't.
Really?
I didn't, because a lot of people always ask me, do I watch a lot of film on my opponents? And I always tell them no, because I have a different style. They're not going to fight me the same style or the same way that they fought their previous opponents. They just not, you know. So I already knew how he fought. I just watched probably like 2 fights of his just to get a feel for what he liked to do, what he don't like, the things that, you know, I can capitalize on. And that's it. Like, I don't watch too much film because I'm going to make my adjustments on the fly inside the ring. So, yeah, I don't watch too much film.
That's interesting. What is the general consensus on that, about watching film? Do most champions watch film? Is it just on an individual basis?
No, some people like to watch film to where they feel as if they know what their opponent's going to do, when they're going to do it, because they got certain habits to identify when they're going to throw a punch or when they're going to back up. Certain things that you see as a top athlete, you start noticing, okay, I noticed that he's doing this when he's doing this. He's doing that when he's doing this. And you pick up on that. And so you put it in your mind, like, okay, we're going to prepare for this. When you do that, we're going to do this. So you try to capitalize on it. But me, I never was that type of person. I let my coaches, they do the studying, and then they come up with a plan, and then they shoot me the plan to win, and we just go from there.
So have you ever done DMT?